take a look at what's happening right now with Dorian, and here you can see the latest satellite picture of the storm as it makes its way up toward Puerto Rico, and mainly just skimming along the eastern side of Puerto Rico right there. I think what's interesting about this satellite picture, if you watch it for a couple of minutes, is this right here. What we could be witnessing here is the development of an eye wall going on. So that's something to watch here, because already the new forecast has this storm becoming a hurricane later on today. We certainly have a big swirl in the middle here. You can see where the center is from the radar picture here. So we're going to watch this very carefully throughout the day today to see how quickly it could intensify. Got all kinds of watches and warnings around Puerto Rico and Hispaniola right now, and you can see the rainfall reaching the eastern parts of Puerto Rico, and some of it spreading all the way across the island. It's not a very big island, and so the rainfall is reaching across. So here's the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. Winds could be at 75 miles per hour by later on tonight. That's a Category 1 hurricane. That's after it moves off the northern coast of Puerto Rico later on this evening. Then it continues to intensify as it makes its way up to the north. High pressure builds to the north of it and forces it down and over to the west a bit. That's why we see this big turn as we get to Friday and Saturday. On Saturday, it strengthens to a Category 2 hurricane, winds at 105 miles per hour. And then on Sunday, the potential for it to become a major hurricane, a Category 3 hurricane with winds at 115 miles per hour, staying a Cat 3 as it moves in somewhere between North Georgia and South Florida. There's still a big question mark here as to when it makes that turn and where it ends up by the time we get to Sunday into Monday. So this is a time period where we have not quite enough information just yet, but over the next day or so, this cone will get smaller and smaller as we figure out exactly which direction this is heading. All the computer models in pretty good agreement over the next couple of days. It's this little split at the end here that's creating that big spread in the cone as we get to Sunday and Monday. We'll have more on Dorian coming up, but before we get to the weekend, before we may have to deal with something from Dorian, we have the rest of the work week to deal with. And for more on that, here's Katia Hall. Good morning, Katia.
All right. Thank you, Glenn, and keeping us updated on what's going on with Tropical Storm Dorian. In the meantime, temperatures in the upper 80s, feeling like 97 degrees with that humidity at 69%. We have this ridge of high pressure, and that is producing that northwesterly flow aloft. So as I mentioned earlier, rain today is going to be tracking from northwest to southeast, much like what we saw yesterday. You can see some showers, some thunderstorms already across the western half of the state. A few thunderstorms around Orlando, and Vipercast does show that rain coming in around maybe 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. Maybe some heavy downpours out there, some thunderstorms with lightning not out of the question. And then as we head into around 8 o'clock this evening, I think most of that should start to clear out, but some of the computer models still saying we could be seeing rain maybe around 10-11 o'clock tonight. So maybe some passing showers into the overnight hours, but it does look like things should wind down around 8 o'clock this evening. Those highs this afternoon warming up into the low 90s, shorts and t-shirt weather. Don't forget the umbrella before you step out the door. 91 here in West Palm Beach, hot and humid with scattered afternoon rainfall, winds out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. For boaters, seas running around 2 to 4 feet, occasionally 5 feet. Those inland waters pretty smooth for today. Temperatures tonight dropping the mid 70s. It's going to be a warm and humid night, pretty muggy out there as you're stepping out the door on your Thursday morning. All right, so here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We have a 50% chance for rain today, 60% on your Thursday, holding on to that 60% chance for rain on your Friday. And depending on what happens with Tropical Storm Dorian will impact your weekend. So right now we're holding on to a 60% chance for rain for Saturday, but an 80% chance for rain on your Sunday, because that is the day that we could be seeing the impacts from Tropical Storm Dorian into your Labor Day. We're looking at about a 40% chance for rain, highs in the upper 80s, and continuing to see that 40% chance for rain by your Tuesday.